it's so great to see you guys. Thanks for watching. Can I ask you for a favor, if you don't mind? Can you write down, I feel terrific today in the comment section below? Help me engage with you. I want to connect with you. I want to authentically know how you're doing. And also, if you have any questions that maybe I can answer for you in a video, I would love to do that for you. So don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and share and tell all of your friends about the connections that you're making. And I will see ya on the flip side. Hey, it's Terrie with The Portal. Hey everyone, it's so good to see you. So for those of you who are watching on the YouTube, you are actually able to see who my next guest is first. And for those of you who are listening, I'm going to introduce you. So whether you're watching or listening, he will get an introduction because he does deserve one, just so you know that. I'm not just teasing you guys, but I'm really excited because I have Jeff Bodart here. Now, Jeff Bodart is a wandsmith. He's a comedian and he's an artist. And I follow him on all the social media and he's funny as shit. So also with just my sick and twisted sense of humor, I love comedy and anything hilarious. So you guys, please, please, please welcome and give a hearty round of applause. Yeah, because I have a live studio audience here, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
To Jeff Bodart. Yay!
Hey!
I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for showing up here on the portal.
Oh, my pleasure. It's great to be here in my house.
In your house.
Yeah, I mean,
how was your,
I have to say that.
Yeah. Well, how was your commute? Was it okay?
It was good. It was all right. I went from one room to another, and into this room. Yeah, it's good. It was no traffic.
No traffic.
And it's very good.
Okay, I'm so glad. Yeah, because traffic is the worst these times days.
Oh, absolutely. Especially in my house. There's all kinds of portals open here.
Oh no, you didn't just throw in the name.
Oh, I did do it.
Oh, nice. See, you're smart too.
I might do a little shimmy with it when I see portal. There's a portal.
Hold on. Let me make it rain for you. Let me make it.
Yeah. You gotta throw a shimmy in there every now and then.
I have a girlfriend that uses that word shimmy all the time, and we were in India together, and she's like, it's time to shimmy. So we were shimmying all over India. Like, if you can just imagine, we're in an ashram shimmying, like, no respect, you know. So, I don't know.
Gotta spread the shimmy.
Life is just not good without a shimmy.
You're not wrong, lady. You're not wrong.
Oh, see, listen, you guys, there's so much high vibration going on already. I'm so excited. Okay, so Jeff.
Yes, ma'am.
I was so happy when you did not reject my invitation to be on.
Why would I reject it?
You'd be surprised. I get rejected a lot.
Oh, no. I can't
yeah.
believe that.
It's true. It's true.
That's
so
terrible.
I was really excited because one of the things that you do, which, okay, aside from just a lot of things that you do, because you are funny, and you are an artist, I've seen some of your sketches, which is really cool. But when you started debuting that you make wands, I really shit purple Twinkies because I was like, what the fuck? Like, like who makes wands?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're showing us your wand.
Yeah, this is my personal wand, actually.
Wow.
A little ergonomic, little handle there.
Wow. That's
got
actually really cool. Is that,
thanks.
Which crystal is that?
That is a garnet. And then I have, I don't know how to pronounce it, but charoite.
Oh, charoite.
Charoite, there you go.
Charoite, yeah.
So, and then this is made of yew wood.
Me wood?
So, Y-E-W, yew wood.
You, okay.
Or you would, I don't know.
I'm trained in improv. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it. Don't threaten me with a good time. Don't threaten me.
Oh, hell yeah. No, I've got several, but yeah, that's this, and I'll tell you what, yeah, I know we're just kind of jumping in the middle, but
yeah, let's do it.
That's my fault, I guess. But I like to show my wands around. But because I'm a comedian, but I also take it on the road with me, because it helps me, bring positivity and make things happen, and talk. It helps me focus and talk, because that's, to me, what wands are for. They help you focus your intent.
Yeah.
And for some reason not some reason, but it always helps me. It always helps me get what I want to happen out into the universe.
Yeah.
So, and it works. It works. If you just, people don't realize if you just ask for what you want.
Oh my God.
Don't worry about being like selfish, or just fucking say it. Say what you want. You know?
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Yes.
How is that hard? I don't understand how that is so hard. No,
people
but I know why.
I want a new car, but I don't want to ask for new. Well, fuck it. Why not?
Well, then you don't deserve a car.
Yeah. We are getting at this.
Oh, it is on, Jeff. It is.
Oh yeah.
But I was like excited because I don't know. I mean, I don't know you very well. I know you through mutual friend Karen, right? Karen on task.
Yeah.
That's how you and I kind of connected. And you know, Karen's all about the paranormal. And I live in Los Angeles, and you would think that it's like woo-woo out here. I mean, there are aspects that are woo, but it's very rare in my experience. Now, other people might have other experiences to meet a heterosexual guy who is into this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I get it.
Difficult. It's very difficult, or at least in my experience. So I know that there were a couple of paranormal questions that you were asking me, like, you know, every once in a while you would just reach out to me and ask me questions. And I was like, oh, that's cool. He's open to all that stuff. But when you came out with your wands, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, right?
That was so cool because, again, it's like, to me, it seemed like you understood that when you can harness energy, you can do something with it. And it was actually really surprising. Now, I don't use a wand because I call myself like a quantum witch only because I've learned and I continue to practice how to harness energy. But I don't know that I would call myself a witch, but sometimes I do. I don't know, whatever. I know that I'm a Jew witch. Hey! Hey!
I get it.
But,
you're a peripheral witch. You're on the peripheral end of the area.
Yeah. So does this mean you're a witch? Like, are you a witchy witch? Or I guess.
I'm kind of getting into that. I sometimes I call myself a witch, and people are like, "Well, you can't be a witch. You're a guy." It's like, what are you, 12?
Yeah.
It's like,
what are you, 12?
Witches? Yeah, right. They're not gender based. It's witches. It's just an old word that means, into that. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it means, but I know it doesn't mean, male or female.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I've looked up like hedge witches, and I guess I'm more like closer to that because I'm not like in a coven. I'm not with a group of but hedge witches are kind of like solo into their own little thing, and sometimes they might bring in another hedge witch, but there's not necessarily a coven, so to speak. But I've been looking into it, been studying it, reading about it, and I got cauldron. I got a cauldron now and a mortar and pestle, and
oh my God, this makes
and then I got a little kind of an altar area that I keep, like these two little shelves that I have. I don't know if you've seen them on my Instagram, but I have my cards, my tarot cards, and I have the Rider-Waite deck, by the way, which is a better deck in my opinion.
It's the iconic traditional deck.
Yeah, it is. And I love that. And then I have like in a separate little like plastic bin, I got all my ingredients of making things, all kind of like
herbs.
They're just so many herbs.
You have an apothecary.
Yeah, like there's like fucking coriander in there.
Yeah.
And all kinds of shit. And then I'm looking up things and trying to learn, because I'm open to learning all that. And I'm like, but they don't tell you what to do with it after you make it all. Like, what do you do? Like, I'm like, what do I do with this after I combine and, mix all this stuff up? Where does it go?
Yeah.
So some things you burn, some things you, I don't know how to disperse it, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it just depends on like what the spell calls for. I do mostly when I do any type of spell work, it's candle magic. So I'm carving into candles and you anoint the candles, and then I would roll it in the herb mix.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes
So you
sense.
can roll it. But then, you know, sometimes like the directions, like they don't give you all this information, right? So like you were saying, like what do you do afterwards? So what happens when the candle is done, you know, and you just have the schmutz, right? So some people say bury it on your property. Some people say burn it, throw it out, whatever. So, I mean, I just usually throw it out because in my mind, and again, I guess I'm what they call a hedge witch.
Yeah.
You know, I just do whatever my instinct tells me to do, because with everything and anything intuitive or esoteric or metaphysical, I'm of the belief system that there are no rules. You know, you do what's good for you because it's your own authenticity and it's your own truth. So, you know, sometimes the trash can works just fine.
Yeah.
You know? So, but I love hearing this. I really wish more men would like get involved in it. And I think it's happening slowly.
I think it is.
Do you have any, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, I think in general, maybe less now. Yes, less now. But like, guys still are stuck in that. What are they gonna think kind of thing? If people find out I do this or whatever, like, who gives a shit? You know, if you enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, fuck them. I mean, I don't. What's the problem?
Yeah.
I just people get so wrapped up in like what are they gonna think.
Yeah.
And that's gonna stop you from doing a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
You know.
For sure. You know, I even as a woman who, you know, it's a very feminine field, and when I say feminine, I mean sexually identifying as a woman. This is my life. Like I have made my career, my lifestyle. So this is how I live. And I actually have a very difficult time dating and finding men who will be okay with this. And I feel, this is my theory, I don't know what the reality is that they feel, because you can't really lie to me without me not knowing, right? So it's like, you know, they're afraid because I know the truth, you know. That's my perspective. I don't know, but I have been coming across, thankfully, more men, you know, whether this is not meant to come out in any type of sexual derogatory way at all, but there tend to be more homosexual men that are just more open to this than heterosexual men. So, you know, it's just so freaking cool. And do you have any friends or like any other guy friends, or but I guess that would be a coven, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have guy friends who are like open to like talking about religion, but because I'm a comedian and I've been a comedian for almost 20 years, but like there's not a lot of dudes who are like really into it.
Yeah.
You know, they think it's a lot of dumb, because as a comedian, you like to make fun of stuff.
Yeah.
And I make fun of stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, but people are like, you know, like, but every once in a while I'll talk about wands, and then people will go, "You make wands? What is this?" And then as I explain it, they're like, "Well, that's fucking cool." And I go,
do you
really?
show it to them? Like, do you do it?
Yes. Yeah, sometimes I have a wand with me.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, or I'll say, well, I brought mine with me, and I'll show you what mine looks like, and I generally don't like to let them like hold it because I don't want their energy to get on it.
Sure.
So, and then I have to cleanse it, and you know, with either selenite or full moon or whatever. But people are like, "Oh my God,
that's magic."
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, people like, they're so like, "How did you make this?"
Yeah.
And then they get really interested. So it does kind of, once they listen, once they open up to it, they kind of like it. But instantly, it's always let's make fun of that. You know, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, like I met a comedian, a friend of mine, Chad Daniels, one of the funniest guys out there today, Chad Daniels. And I was working with him, and he goes, why aren't you selling these after shows?
Yeah.
I go, what? He goes, you should sell wands after your shows. I go, are you out of your mind? This is the silliest thing people think about me, I think. But he goes, well, just talk about it on stage. And then I had them with me. And then I'm like, I don't even know how I did it, but I brought it out on stage and I whipped it around. And I go, you're an asshole. And then,
nice.
And they're like, did you just pull out a wand? And then So
I want to see that bit.
Yeah, so I started talking about it a little bit, and the story goes basically like I bought a house in 2017, and it had a workbench in the garage, and I'm like, I don't make anything, but I was like, you know what, I bet I could make a wand, and I just started making wands, and then a friend of mine, she's like, those are really cool, you should sell those. I go, people buy these? I just like it, because I'm so creative.
Sure.
And it was a great creative outlet. And then I started really looking up into like what the different types of woods do and the crystals and then I got really into it. So it's been really cool. But yeah, I mean, I know that's a long answer to your.
No, I love it. It's the perfect answer. That's perfect. I actually almost bought a wand because I was dating somebody and he's a witch, and it was like the first time that like I was dating a guy who was like really fully embracing who I was, and I'm like, oh, he's so good, like he deserves a wand. but we broke up, so I didn't get it.
Oh, what a dick. That's his fault, you know.
No, that was me. I fucked it up.
Oh, okay.
I fucked it up. I take full responsibility, but it's okay. Who knows? You never know. Maybe he'll get his wand one day. I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
you never know.
Yeah,
never know.
But I just thought it was, I mean, yes, you know, the wand can be for male or female, but I was just so excited when you started selling the wands, because I also don't know anybody else who does that.
Yeah. Same here.
It's not like you wand smiths are like, you know, prevalent around the shires, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I looked up other people's wands, and there's a lot of them on Instagram, it seems like.
Oh, really?
And yeah,
if I follow anybody else but you.
Oh.
Just you and Tarbo wands, ladies and gentlemen.
Tarbo wand. Tarbo wand. That's
make a purchase.
Tarbo, everybody. Tarbo wand.
Does that mean something? Does it stand for something?
It's sort of an anagram of my last name, but without the letter D, because it looked like Tarbod, and I'm like,
no, it doesn't feel right. No.
It doesn't feel right. So I just took that out, and then Tarbo, like, it's kind of bad. It's kind of cool. But I look at other people's wands, and I'm like, okay, and I get really like I don't like that. That's dumb. Or like, that's too thin. That's gonna break. Or like, that looks like fucking plastic. Who wants a plastic wand?
I love it. You're a wand snob. I love it.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm a little uppity about it.
That's okay.
But like, people they get too, in my opinion, some of them are too ornate, and they get real frilly and like, Yeah. I mean, look at this. This is hawthorn, and it has a big hematite stone on there.
Look at that. That's stunning.
Then
I feel I'm a really kinesthetic person, so I like to touch and feel things, and I feel like I want to touch that because it feels smooth.
Yeah,
like
and some people smooth. Yeah, and people use a lathe sometimes. I don't like using a lathe because that looks. A lathe is basically, it spins the piece of wood, and then you take a chisel and you it makes it real smooth, and then you can like put it in and make a line that goes all the way around the wood. But it's too straight. It's too, it almost looks too good, you know? But like mine have bends, you know, mine have
real, like real wood. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is real wood, and it's like, it has a natural flow to it. And I like the natural looking and natural feel, because I let the wand decide what it wants to look like, if that makes sense.
It does. I was going to ask you, what is your process? So like, what do you do when you're creating a wand? Yeah,
I mean, if there is some sort of a bend in the wood, I kind of incorporate that into the wand. So it's got more character, and it's got, to me, if you're into energy, and there's an energy or an identity almost is born when I complete a wand. Then I can read it, I can feel it, I can feel like how long it's been around or who it belongs to, or like I make some, and I have a friend of mine, and she's down in Texas, and she's a psychic medium, but she sometimes looks at my wands and she goes, "You make a lot of dark wands."
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know. I think some of them do lean dark sometimes.
Wait, when you're talking dark, are you talking the color of the wood or the actual energy, like a dark energy?
Dark energy.
Huh.
And
Okay.
and I'm like, well, I just let it decide what it wants to be. So if it has a dark feel to it, it decided it wanted to be dark. But doesn't necessarily mean a person who wants to only do good with it can't use it.
Right.
But which brings me to this story. So real quick,
Yeah.
I sell my wands like on Facebook or Etsy. I typically like to do it on Facebook and then just do it through PayPal because I don't like giving Etsy all my money.
Sure, makes sense to me.
But whatever. But at least on Etsy, I can put them in a grid form and they can look, like a storefront. But a woman messaged me, and she goes, "I love this wand," and she goes, "I know it's dark because each wand has a story."
I love
that I write.
I love that, Jeff. That's so much TLC, and
I love it. Yeah.
And it's like it is channeled. It is like it's channeled through you. So you are a channel for this. I love that. And I'm sure it always ends up in the right person's hands. But I digress.
I think so.
Continue.
Yeah. So, and she goes, "I know it. I know it's a very dark wand." And I go, "Yeah, it is." And I go, it honestly felt like a bad energy, but like a person who's sort of on that dark side could probably handle it. And she's like, "Okay, I think this is meant for me." And I'm like, "Okay, well, if you think it's meant for you, then it's for you." And she's like, "Can you engrave on it?" And I said, "Yeah, I can do that." Because I have my brother Mike owns a sporting goods store and they do engraving, and I just take it over there. They charge me, but she wanted these like 3 runes engraved on it.
Wow.
So she sent them to me. I looked them up. I don't remember offhand what they mean, but I put them on there, mailed it to her. She got it. Like 3 or 4 weeks later, she messages me. She goes, "Hey, my house burnt down, and I want to know if you can make another wand for me."
The wand burned also?
Yeah. And I'm like, if your house burnt down, maybe that wasn't the right wand for you. And then secondly, why is your priority
the
to get a wand?
Oh my God.
I know. And I was
shite.
like, I guess I haven't made it yet. But I'm like, it just felt odd.
Yeah, slightly.
So, and I'm a businessman, but I'm also, try to use common sense.
Yeah.
Like, what is she doing?
Oh my God.
I don't know what it was. I don't know how I didn't ask details about how her house burned down.
Oh, I want to know. Can you call her and find out? I'm kidding.
I could.
I'm just a nudnik. I just want to know. That's like crazy, but it's so fascinating that she wants you to make another wand. But like, how about we worry about a place to live first?
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit. Oh my God.
And one guy messaged me, he goes, "I had a dream about a wand, and if I draw it, can you make it?" And I'm like, okay. And so he drew it out, and it had a weird, it was like you hold it, and then it had a curve to it, and then went straight. And I'm like, okay. And so I made it, and he goes, I practice chaos magic, and I know that's bad, but I know I can take care of it. I'm in control. I'm like, if you think you're in control, maybe, I don't know. But I looked a little bit of chaos magic up, and it gets there. It gets out. It'll get away from you if you're not careful. If you're not well protected. But I made it for him, and he's like, "Well, I got this really expensive stone I want to put on." I was like, "Well, I'll let you handle that."
Yeah.
So I made it, and he's like, "Well, I'm gonna do a spell as soon as I get it to thank you for making my wand."
No, that's okay.
I don't. You know what? I just let him. I said,
okay.
Fine. And I said I let him do it, and in that moment, like for the next month or two, when he actually got it, business was pretty good.
Oh, nice.
On the wands.
Okay.
So, but I haven't made a lot of wands lately, but the universe lately has been telling me to go back and make some more, because I've had 4 different people talk about wands to me. And then one guy gave me apple wood.
Ooh. And
I looked up what apple wood does, and it's good for like love, and it's very warm. And then another guy found some driftwood in Lake Michigan. He's like, "I think these will be good. I think these are meant for you." So I'm like, okay. So like that's 2 right there. And then somebody else was like, "Well, my kids want wands." I'm like, okay, so I guess the universe is telling me to make some more wands. So.
Oh, that's so cool. So how do you, when you're looking for the wood, I mean, is that just an instinctive thing too, or how are you finding the wood? Like,
somebody asked for a particular kind of wood one day,
Mm-hmm.
yew wood, Y-E-W, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I don't have that, but I can look it up, and I found it, and I ordered it off Etsy, and just raw yew wood, and I do special order woods. I've looked them up after that person asked for a specific wood. I'm like, I wonder what other woods do. So I looked up and I found willow, and I love willow. Willow's probably my favorite, although my wand is yew, but I like willow.
What is it about willow that you like, or like that you...
Willow wood, the roots go and spread out and down a lot. The root system is very grounded, so it means it's a very grounded wood and offers like robust protection for repelling negativity and negative energies. And to me, willow wood seems more motherly, like a motherly protection. And yew wood, I like yew wood because they say yew wood never dies. A yew tree or yew never dies because a new yew plant or tree or bush or whatever is born from the old.
Oh, wow.
So as it decays, a new one springs up. So they say it's like the oldest living tree because it never dies.
Because it never dies, yeah.
Right. So, and then I've looked up red oak. I've used red oak, which is it's so heavy, and it's a very firm wood to be shaping. And I shape it with a rotary tool. And but man, they are strong. They will not break. And there's just so many. I have pine and poplar, and somebody gave me some cedar, which I like cedar as well. But they all the wood offers some sort of protection, which is good, and others mean more, different things. The apple wood more for love and things like that. So, but then I add the crystals to it because it gives it a different energy too.
Sure.
So the crystals do other things, and so I think when it's combined like that,
Yeah.
But it offers different strengths.
Yeah. How are you fastening on the crystals onto the wood? Because I made one and it's so cheesy looking. It's horrible. Like I wouldn't even show it to you because it's embarrassing. But I was using glue, like a glue gun. I'm like, this is like kindergarten. Like what the fuck?
You can't use a glue gun. I went through like 6 or 7 different glues to find out. And then a friend of mine, again, she's like, I don't want to give all my secrets away, but there's a particular glue that I get at Hobby Lobby.
Nice.
And it's like craft glue.
Okay.
But it is the best. Wow. And it really works well. And then somebody goes, do you inlay them? Like, well, I can, but and then I learned how to inlay more. So, nice. But the glue works real well.
Nice.
So,
and go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say real quick that I do this. Speaking of different crystals on wands, and I know in general, the more crystals you have, it kind of interfere with each other. Sometimes if you have a lot with you, but I have a chakra wand. So basically, there's a particular crystal that goes with each chakra.
Sure.
It's like 7, I think.
7, yeah.
So I have chakra wands. I have 7 different stones down this swirl wand, and people really, really dig those. And they're real. To me, they're very powerful.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it breaks the rule of having so many crystals, but they're chakra. It's chakra.
It's different.
It's different. So, and I make those typically out of willow. So.
And how easy is it to ship? Like, what do you do to like make sure it? I mean,
I have special order. I special order these boxes, and they. I also put a little piece of I don't know what you call it, a little spongy cushion inside the box, and then I wrap each wand with a linen, like a red linen.
Oh wow!
And then I roll it up and then tuck in the ends, and then I get a strip of linen and I loop it around and then tie it in a bow on each. So basically, it protects it. Plus, as presentation factor goes, when it's wrapped in linen, it looks so much better than just plastic or bubble wrap.
Hi!
Whatever.
Or that Pellis band, the peanuts.
Yeah. So, and plus, if people they can keep the boxes, the little cardboard boxes, and use them and store them in there.
Nice.
So, which brings me to now I sell boxes, actual wood boxes, and they have these little pedestals inside that I build myself. I put them inside the box, and it holds the wand up inside the box, and so you open the box up, and it's on the little pedestal right there. So I sell those now too.
That's fabulous. So it actually sounds to me like there's a bit of a ritual that you do when you're sending it off too.
Well, yes. As far as spiritually goes, yes, I actually charge each wand.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yeah.
By a full moon. I wait for the next full moon, and whatever wands I have made at that point, I will set them outside and say a incantation, and I ask for blessings and positivity to charge each wand. So they go out charged positively.
Fully charged. Ha, cha, cha, cha.
They are.
God, that's awesome. See, I'm so glad I was talking to you about this, because I knew there was more than just like liking your post and saying, oh, like that's a cool wand. I knew there was more to this.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I'll handwrite the story on a card and put it inside the box too.
Oh, that is so awesome.
Thank you.
Do you what do you do personally? Like, do you have a spiritual practice at all, or is everything done through the wand making? Other than your little apothecary and your crystals. I mean, do you have a spiritual practice at all, or?
I grew up, as far as spiritual, I grew up Catholic, so there's always that Catholic base.
Sure.
But if people think about it, that is the most magical religion there is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because there's always the smoke, and there's always the ceremonies. There's always a different prayer for every. Sure. There's a saint, and it's like we're all pagans. This is a pagan religion, everybody. I know it's Catholic, but you've just taken the pagan practices and made it Catholic and changed the label. That's all you did. So,
hashtag truth.
If you think about it, if you know anything about religion, then you're going to discover, like, holy shit, this is like a prehistoric religion that they just changed the people around. Yeah. A little bit, Yeah. So there's always that, but as far as the spiritual practice goes, I talk a lot to the universe. I do have I light candles. I do some candle magic. And I like to pick and choose different things, and whether it be hoodoo or another moon magic, things to do for the moonlight. And then a friend of mine, again, same friend, she's like, she gave me a money spell, and using kale and actual bourbon and saying what you want. You say the incantation. Yeah. And you set it on a ledge in your kitchen where it gets direct sunlight. I tell you what, I've done it twice because I've renewed it, so to speak, and it works.
Yeah, I know that shit works.
And people think it's the dumbest thing. I'm like, are you serious? You're gonna put all of your, yes, I know it's called faith, but all your faith into this religion, but you're open to that, but you're not open to this. Yeah. And I'm like, it's why not try it?
Yeah. Well, all it does is it allows us humans who are so into the physical 3D world, it gives us something tangible to tap into the energy. So it's just a symbol. That's all it is a symbol. It's not like the actual candle is bringing you magic. It's everything. Right. It's the intention and the energy you're using as this physical, tangible object. People don't understand that. And it's not like I'm praying to a candle.
Right.
I'm Jewish. Like, I believe my God is Hashem. Like, I still, but I'm just saying, like, I can harness the energy, and energy, it's science. That's science. It's just
absolutely.
Particles behave, that's
just energy and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, when people start sort of blending or mixing, really misunderstanding that it's a religion, it's like, no, it's symbolism. It's not really religion, it's symbolism.
Right.
Although there are goddesses like Hecate, you know, that like people will pray to, which is totally fine, because then it becomes, in my opinion, then it becomes a religion. But you can still keep your Catholicism. I can keep my Judaism, and then we could do the hoodoo, you know?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I do love me some hoodoo. I do.
Yeah. I mean, to me, God and the word the universe, those are interchangeable.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I'll often use source, creator, you know, some people use God, goddess. I mean, I do use God because that's how I was raised. It's so like ingrained in me. It's just behavioral. But I also understand God is not human, right? It's energy.
Right.
So,
right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is so cool. Jeff, this has been so fun. I love learning all about your wand.
Thank you.
So this is the part of the podcast where I ask my guests if they would like a reading or not. So it's totally up to you. You would like a reading. Okay.
Absolutely.
So we're going to do this. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have like a specific question in mind at all?
I do. I don't want to overload you. I have 2 questions. That's it. I mean.
Okay. Well, I'll try and get to them. Here, let's do this. First, let me get you connected. Okay. So do me a favor and put both of your hands on your heart. And we're going to tap into our heart energy with doing that, because the heart is where truth and authenticity lies. And that's the soul. So do me a favor and take 3 deep breaths. And after that last breath, say your first name out loud 3 times, please.
After the last breath?
Yeah, 3 times.
Okay.
Just your first name.
Jeff.
Okay, Jeff. So I may use cards, I may not. These are just tools, just like your wand, you know? So I'm using that way too much. Having way too much fun with that. It's an opportunity, right? So
Absolutely.
So I may use cards, I may not. But typically the way spirit speaks to me is in metaphor. So if you're just going to be married to the exact words that I say, you might be missing out on some sort of guidance. So think a little bit bigger than just the words that I say. So you might want to think in terms of a connection to this information, you know, metaphor. If it doesn't resonate with you, do not take it. I'm not the end all be all. I make mistakes. Sure. I'm not perfect. So with that said, are these 2 questions, can we blend them together, or are they each 2 separate topics?
I think they're 2 separate topics. They're both very specific.
Okay. So how about priority wise, go with the one that you want, that you're like, I need to know for sure.
Oh, wow.
This
is,
yeah, I feel that one.
Prioritizing it.
That was a hard thing for you, wasn't it? Oh
really
my God, I felt that
was.
in my gut. My gut just dropped. I went, oh, he doesn't do that.
I guess, should I say it out loud, the first question?
Yes, please.
Okay. When will I get married?
When will I get married? Okay. All right. I'm going to look into this for you. When will I get married? Okay. So the first bit of information that I'm getting, and please know that anything that I share with you is for your highest good. Okay. So it's for the best intentions. It feels like there's just a little bit of tweaking that needs to be done in terms of, how do I say this? It's almost like you're too much of a nice guy. I don't know if you understand that, or you've been told that. Please don't be offended by it. It's good to be a nice guy, but it feels to me almost like, and there's a delicate balance when I say this. There's not enough pushback with women. So in other words, like, it almost feels like you'll do everything and anything they say, but they want a little bit of like a tug of war, a little bit of contrast. And it feels to me like you're afraid to do that for fear of being rejected. I don't know if you understand that or not. So there's just a little bit of finessing with that first, because when you do find your partner, you're going to need somebody who pushes you. I don't know if you understand this or not.
Yeah.
But not in a bad way, but that push can sort of be like motivation for you and inspiration. So that's what it feels like. So when you're saying when, I mean, it's not coming up like 3 years or 5 years from now. It's more like when you can start playing and finessing with that. Now, of course, with COVID right now, it's totally understandable if you're I'm having a hard time. I'm like I'm not dating at all right now during COVID, actually. Yeah. The thought of being on a date with someone with a mask, I can't right now. So, that's just me. I just like, no, I need to see your whole face, not just your nose.
Absolutely.
Just your eyes. But so circumstantially right now, it just might be hard for you to have the access that you normally would. Yeah. But don't be afraid to push back a little bit, and not in a sarcastic way. You have that down pat, because women know. We know, if you're being authentically like, and sometimes that pushback might actually be like boundary setting. It's sort of coming up with boundary setting. So, oh,
that's interesting.
Do you understand that? Because it's like, okay, but there's still some practice with that needs to happen. Because it does feel like you have been taken advantage of a lot, and you continue to, or at least there's a thought process or a belief system. And what's so lovely is that you have so much to offer. So that's beautiful, and that's wonderful. But it's like, it almost feels like you're offering it to just everybody. And the thing is that with setting boundaries, it'll be a filter, so that the pieces of crap, for all intents and purposes, will like fall away.
Sure.
So I know you're asking for a when. I'm not getting like a September or October, anything like that. It's just more, you need some more practice. And it's like, if I were to give you a homework assignment on dating, I would say, like, purposely now, as you're come online with it, and just be really aware, and just like kind of purposely push back to see what that boundary would be, so it's not too flimsy. Because believe it or not, a woman needs to respect a man, and if that boundary isn't set, like, the respect may not be there.
Right.
So that's where it feels like it's a little bit off. I'll just give you an example. I was dating this guy, and he was very, very set on making sure the date ended by 11. Like, I needed to leave. Like, really? Like, because he had to work, I have a more flexible schedule, so he had to work. So it was like, okay, so he'd always pretty much end the date around 10:30, because he needed to be in bed by 11, like we needed to be like, so, but that was his boundary, like, and he was very firm with that. And so I was like, okay, I will totally respect that, because it's important to you. And that was something that, you needed to do. So I was very much like, okay. And I wasn't going to like sit here and make it about me, because that's also an indicator for you what kind of girl she's going to be. Let's say, you needed to end things by 10:30, and she was like, like, done, next. But I'm just, that could be an extreme example, but it is an example of what his boundary was. And he was very much like, no, I need to be in bed. I need to be done with my evening by 11. It's like, okay. So,
but nothing fun nothing fun happens before.
You don't know me. Jeff, you don't live in LA. You don't know me.
That's true.
I'm a Leo, baby. I'm
writing that shit down.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of things you can have fun doing before 10:30 at night.
I know.
So.
I was just being.
I know you are. I know. But I'm just saying, like, just whatever it is, and that could be something for you just to sort of start taking a look at, like, what is important to me, and like, what will my boundary be, and if she can't, because you are a good guy and you do have a lot to offer, and what's
I don't
really
disagree.
Okay, good. And what I really like about your energy too is that you have a nice balance of feminine energy and masculine energy. So you're also a man, right? Mm-hmm. But you're sensitive, and a lot of men are afraid to go into that sensitive place. So that's why
you do have a lot to offer a woman because you do have a good balance of that. But it's just sometimes your fear of being rejected or abandoned or replaced even, I don't know why that came through, replaced, you will maybe step more into your feminine side and just be like, I want to be a little bit, you know, flowy and flimsy, not so flexible with my boundaries. So that's when you have to step more into your masculinity and go boom. So in terms of when you're going to get married, it's like when you, I don't want to say master because we never master anything, but when you get better at that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Answer. Okay.
A lot of that made sense.
Okay, good. And I don't know you. Ha! All right. What's your next question?
I don't know how specific I should go, but I recently, I was cleaning out some stuff at my parents' house, and I found some stuff, my grandfather's, my uncle's stuff, but I also found my grandfather's army picture, a portrait. And I bought a new frame. I took it out of the old cardboard thing and put it up. And now I have it on my grandma, his wife, you know, on my grandma's 1938 radio. And so now, and then I grabbed my grandfather's watch and his ring and set it with
you're creating an altar for grandpa, aren't you?
A little bit.
Yeah, I would say so.
And I talk to him, but I don't hear anything back or any signs back. And I'm always wondering if he's actually here or if he visits. I know that's very specific, and maybe that's too much information.
No, I mean, I just see I feel like you're having an expectation and you're being disappointed because it's not being met, because there is such thing as divine timing. Do you understand Grandpa was a bit of a trickster? Do you know that about him? He had a good sense of humor.
You know what? It's funny you mentioned that, because he was very dry, but I saw a picture of him when he was in high school and he was pretending to be a statue. Yeah. I'm like, no, that's silly. There's some silly in there.
Yeah. I feel like he's a bit of a prankster, and I'm getting his energy off of you and like your family energy. This is not a mediumistic reading, so I'm not directly in contact with Grandpa. I just want to let you know that. Because there's a distinction in that. But I do feel like Grandpa has a sense of humor, and I do feel like he might have either been a prankster or done pranky stuff in the past, maybe when he was younger too. And I feel like he's gonna, you're prepared, like you're like conjuring him in, but he's like a little stubborn, and he's like, oh no, not on your time, big boy. It'll be on my time, and you watch and see. And when I come through for you, giving you a sign or whatever, it's gonna be big. So I feel like you're preparing for him, which is really nice, but I feel like it's going to be more of a surprise to you.
Okay.
So, and you totally can create this altar, you know, just always make sure. And I know, just based on our conversation, you understand the difference between dark and light. So, you know, you just always want to preface it with like the better good of God, or, you know, anything like that. But it's not going to be in your time.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. I say light and love a lot. So when I do something, I bring this in with light and love.
And harm to none. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. It's not going to happen when you want it. But I love how you're doing that, because the thing I kept coming up, like the word that kept coming up when you were describing was conjure. I'm like, he's trying to bring in Grandpa. Yeah, and that's okay. And you know, do you have people around you that can validate any of the information that I gave you about him being or anything? Okay, so ask them. You know, find out.
As long as I don't tell them where I got the information.
Yeah, don't.
You know,
there's a psychic, medium, healer, coach person, and like, nah, don't do that. And she likes wands.
Yeah, they're very old school people. They're that generation. Oh yeah.
I hear you.
Why do you ask?
Just so you can get some information. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why do you ask? I'm here to call in the devil. Exactly. I'm here to ruin your life.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, my dad is probably more open than my mother is to that stuff. Yeah. But my dad gets scared easily.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, let's change the subject. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that gives you some information. But I know that I'm 100,000 bazillion gazillion, because that's an official number. Percent you will be hearing from him or seeing him or something, but I do feel like it's going to come in through a dream. Or this just came to me, one of the altar pieces might be knocked on the floor.
Really? Interesting. Okay.
So, but don't go looking for it, because then you're just going to prolong it, because then you're activating the law of repulsion of the universe, which is the more you put energy and focus onto something, the less it comes to you. So set up your altar, just go, hey, Gramps, whenever you want, I'll see ya, and then walk away, right? And then one day you're going to come home and the watch is on the floor. Or maybe the picture's knocked down or something. And it's not because of an earthquake. Oh, well, you don't live in LA, so you don't have to worry about that. It's not because of an earthquake or an aftermath.
Or a tornado.
By you, tornado. Okay, fine. No tornadoes. But I feel like he would come through in a dream for you. Or maybe even a song. Did you guys have a song? How close were you with him? I don't feel like you guys were very close.
He died 2 months or so after I was born. 2 or 3 months. Yeah. There
might be a song you might have heard, maybe a family member say he liked a particular song or something. It might come through. It might, I don't know, that one doesn't feel as strong, but the dream feels stronger and something knocked down.
Okay. Yeah. I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, I won't be expecting it.
Yeah, do not expect. No expectations. Bad boy. Yeah. So, Jeff, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me here. Now, if anybody wants to buy one of your wands, where can they find you? How can they purchase from you?
They can find me on Facebook or Etsy, but Facebook's better because you can talk to me easier. Okay. Just look up Tarbo Wands, Tarbo, Tarbo Wands, and then all my stuff will come up, and then you can message me through there and figure out what you want. You can, because people can tell me what they want it to look like, or they can look at an old wand of mine and say, well, I like that, and I like that on that. So can you combine the two? So I'm like, awesome. Okay. So, and then my comedy is just, I'm on Facebook also as comedian Jeff Bodart. I also have a website, jeffbodart.com. I need to update that, by the way.
Do it, because people might want to come see you laugh about wands.
Yeah, but my dates got all messed up because of the pandemic, and so I got to update my dates, and then as far as drawing goes, if they just look up Jeff Bodart Art on Facebook and Instagram, you can see all my art on there. I do a lot of pencil portraits. Perfect. So. Yeah.
Awesome. And I'll make sure that I have all your contact information and all the notes below and the description and all that. So
sure.
You guys have to buy his wands. You guys, now that you've met him and you know that each wand is there's a special intention behind all of them, and there's a nice ritual. There's a lot of TLC that goes into these wands, and I'm so excited to know a wandsmith. It's so freaking cool. Jeff, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody for watching or listening here on the portal with Terrie Huberman. And it is so important. The reason why I do all of this is because my number one value is connection, and it's super important for all of us humans to stay connected to each other. Our brains are wired for connection, and the more connected we are and we feel with other people, the safer we feel in this world, so that we can do our purpose, give our gifts to this world. So that's why I'm always saying stay connected. As cheesy as my tagline is, which I'm about to say, it's because it's true. So y'all know it. Feel free to say it with me if you want. Stay connected. Stay connected to your family and friends. Stay connected to yourself. And of course, you can stay connected to me. I would love for you to, just hang around a bit. I appreciate all of your engagement with me. I'm only as good as the people around me. So thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.
Oh, it's so great to see you guys. Thanks for watching. Can I ask you for a favor if you don't mind? Can you write down, I feel terrific today in the comment section below? Help me engage with you. I want to connect with you. I want to authentically know how you're doing. And also, if you have any questions that maybe I can answer for you in a video, I would love to do that for you. So don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and share and tell all of your friends about the connections that you're making. And I will see ya on the flip side.